This creator asked for people's unhinged family lore, and I am shocked at the things people are willing to post on the internet. My dad sent a hitman on his ex-wife, and my mom had to call the hitman off. 2 years later, he tried to send the same hitman on my mom and I twice, but the hitman didn't do it because he liked my mom. I'm glad you're all okay. My mom's ex-boyfriend is now her brother. My grandparents adopted him after they broke up because he was an orphan. Cousin suspected his wife was cheating, thinking his son wasn't his. He took a DNA test and it turned out his son was actually his half-brother. She was cheating with his dad? We're pretty sure my grandfather committed the most notorious unsolved murder in the Blue Mountains, Australia. And you've reported it, right? You didn't just leave it in a comment section? One of my cousins was born on 9/11/2001, and my grandma believes he's the reincarnation of the Antichrist. Yikes. Friends and I in junior high found a VHS tape that said home movies in my basement, and it was just a swingers tape of all our parents. All 6 of our parents. Scarred for life. My grandmother and grandfather were twins separated at birth. They reunited at 23 years old and started dating and had kids. Found out they were related in 2020. My father is a pathological liar to the point that none of his 13 children or 9 ex-wives know his actual age. He somehow made 3 sets of birth certificates and he's currently running from the IRS. Who has this kind of time? Mom cheated on dad with the woman next door. She paid to have him killed, but the hitman was an undercover cop and she was sent to prison. My aunt once faked being possessed to get out of a speeding ticket. It worked! Cop ran back to his car and prayed from the window. Kind of iconic. My brother went missing for almost 2 years, but he had never left the place he lived. He just got his housemates to say he didn't live there? What? My uncle went missing for 20 years, so we assumed he died, and then he suddenly showed up 2 years ago, and we still don't know where he went. My grandma had an asthma attack during a World War II bombing and ran out of the house. The whole family followed, and their house was bombed immediately after. When I was 8, my gran tried to get me possessed by the spirit of her first son who was murdered at the age of 13 by my gran's boyfriend. My Welsh granddad worked at a mental hospital as a research so he could fake being homicidally insane to get out of his marriage to my grandmother. The cult we were in is very difficult to get divorced. The cults? An uncle of mine was always the black sheep of the family, didn't want to go to university, and always was a fan of guns and hunting. At 23, he became a priest and went to work in a little village in the mountains, so our family never heard of him for about 35 years. When he died, my mom and her cousin went to his apartment to get his things and stuff. He had a gun on his nightstand plus 3 other guns and a rifle, kept a diary in Latin in his strongbox, and they couldn't find his passport or ID card. 2 years after his death, we received a thank you letter from the government and a medal for his service to the country. His diary in Latin was an encrypted notebook. He was actually a secret agent and he was probably killed. I'm so sorry for your loss, but also, that is so cool. Suddenly, my very crazy family seems very sane.